Welcome to the 50th Annual Members Meeting for the Stanford Historical Society. We are in the midst of celebrating the 50th anniversary of the founding of this society, and this is our final program of the academic year. But we will resume celebratory activities in the fall quarter. At this point in the annual meeting, it is customary for the president to give a report on the year in review. But today, I'm not going to give the normal spoken report. Instead, this year, I'm going to let you see a visual summary of the year in review set to music by Scott Joplin, who was enormously popular in Stanford's founding years. I will be back. I'm sure many of you were able to attend that quite wonderful program at Bing Concert Hall last month. What we sang, a recital of Stanford songs that were sung here from 1893 to 1915. After the program, we listened to more Stanford music played on the Lou Henry Hoover Carillon, which is located in Hoover Tower. After that very successful concert was over, I received a very polite letter from a member of the Hoover family informing me that we had not used the correct title of the Carillon. The correct title is the Lou Henry Hoover Carillon. Lou Henry met her future husband, Herbert Hoover, here at Stanford when they both studied geology under Professor George Casper Branner, later to become Stanford's second president. She was a very important person in her own right in Stanford history. It was Lou Henry Hoover, not Herbert, who made all of the important decisions in building Hoover House, which is now the official residence of Stanford presidents. And she was very involved in the Stanford community in many ways. So I wrote back a letter apologizing for our error. I pledged also to explain the area to our annual meeting, as I am doing now. And I can assure you that future programs will correctly identify the Lou Henry Hoover Carillon. Now I am very pleased to report the results of a recent election of new board members for the Society's board of directors and to recognize the members who are rotating off. I should note that we were able to announce the results because we got more online votes than necessary to approve the entire slate. We continually refresh our board by having term limits for all. And I want to first express our thanks for the excellent service of 3 members who will be rotating off. Drew Brent made significant contributions by serving on the Marketing and Communications Committee and serving as co-chair of our oral history programs. Jeannie Cumbley-Cole has given excellent service on the Marketing and Communications Committee and co-chaired that committee. Although she is voting off the board, she will now be a new co-chair of the Oral History Committee. Henry Segal would surely have served an additional term, but he is leaving Stanford after graduating this month. Next month, he will be going to law school in New York. He has given special service to the Society this year, and I think we'll hear a little bit more about him later on in the program. We thanked them all for their dedicated service. The policy work of this society is done by 8 standing committees, and all the members volunteer their time and labor. We also wish to welcome 5 new board members of the board. All of these new board members bleed cardinal red, and we are grateful that they will join us in promoting the study and awareness of Stanford history. Because the biographies of all these board members are in your programs, I will not repeat that information. I will only note that Bernadette Fong, who was a board member, had to leave the board because she had been recalled to duty as president of Foothill College. We are delighted that she is back with us now. Eric and Shayla have extensive experience at Stanford, and both have professional jobs away from Stanford. Eric is in Orange County, and Shayla is in Washington, D.C. They were doing most of their work by Zoom. But our society has national and international members. More people usually join our programs online than are able to join us in person. Francisco is an emeritus faculty member of the Graduate School of Education, though he's now been recalled to active teaching duty as well. And Bert himself is a PhD historian at Stanford, the author of several books, a couple about Stanford, and is now in a senior position at the Hoover Institution. And now we come to my favorite duty, to give some special awards to some very special people. This year, the Executive Committee of the Board and I have established a new category of awards, the Stanford Historical Society Presidential Award. Each will get a citation for their accomplishments and will later receive the gift, but those are now in progress. I am honored now to give these awards. The first presidential award goes, not surprisingly, to Susan and Sapna, who were the co-chairs of our Society's task force on the 50th anniversary of the founding. All of the successful programs we saw in the year in review were initiated, reviewed, and executed by the 15 members of the task force, co-chaired by Susan and Sapna. It was Susan and Sapna who made the agendas, engaged all the members, and made sure all programs were executed. You can see right now we put in a lighthearted way that they were indeed architects of organization, masters at Zoom and chart chasers, setting agendas, and harmonious hosts. Susan hosted at most of our meetings. They fostered a spirit of collaboration and fun, and they were really, truly champion coaches, inspiring teamwork. And so they will get the first award. Would you please come up? Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
The second presidential award goes to Henry Segal. I told you would hear a little bit more about Henry. Henry's interest and active efforts to learn more about Stanford history and his contributions to the Historical Society have been remarkable. So here's hats off to Henry. He was co-directed the documentary movie that we played at last year's annual meeting. He's about to tell us about his work on plaques and memorials at Stanford. He was enthusiastic, and it's his enthusiasm for Stanford history that impressed all of us. And so, Henry, come up. The third presidential award, no one has done more dedicated and sheer hard work to give this 50th anniversary year its distinctive artistic and aesthetic style in all of our programs and publications than Sonny Scott and Kathy Schniedwind. They have carefully used authentic historic art and styles to bestow historical accuracy and fun into all of our programs and publicity this year. They faithfully republished, with great effort, the Paul Turner book, which is really quite fascinating, very well done, and it was a very complex process to do. And this wonderful program and the video that you just seen were created by them, and the video that you saw at Bing Concert Hall was by them. So what their work has been nothing but brilliant and of the highest aesthetic quality. Please come up. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks.
Right. Now, we come to two major awards that we've given on a regular basis. The Schofield Award. This is an award named after Susan Schofield, a longtime member of the Stanford administration and the person most responsible for the revival and vast improvements in Stanford's oral history program for the past 2 decades. This is the 9th year that the Schofield Oral History Award has been given. Let me read the citation for this award. For her skill in developing and coordinating a project that traces the formation and growth of the Stanford Graduate Workers Union, for her commitment to documenting the experience of those who fought for collective bargaining rights during a transformative period in labor organizing at universities, and for her attention to oral history's best practices in the archival preservation of the interviews for the Graduate Workers Unionization and Stanford Oral History Project. Natalya Leyden is hereby named the recipient of the 2026 Susan Schofield Award. Thank you so much. Oh, yes. Now we come to the Karen Bartholomew Award for exceptional long-time service to the Historical Society. I was surprised to learn that Charlie Junkerman had never received the Bartholomew Award. For several decades, Charlie has done it all. He is a past president of the Society. He has served over the years on all but one of our committees. He gave a wonderful illustrated lecture on Stanford sandstone. It was so popular that it was given several times, and twice here on SHS programs with new things each time. Fortunately, we recorded the last program on video, and you can see it online. Most recently, Charlie was the creator and superb master of ceremonies at our recent Bing Concert Hall recital. Just look at Charlie's photo. As a fan of classic movies and early television, I think of Charlie as a man of many parts. He has the gravitas of Charlton Heston as Moses, the sharp intellect of Alec Guinness as George Smiley, and the enthusiasm of Leave It to Beaver. But if I had to pick a single image, it would be Paul Schofield in A Man for All Seasons. Come up. Now, I would also be remiss if I did not also say something very special about two people, and that is while all of our committees and all our policy work is done by committees, we do have two staff members who do such a superb job that this society would not exist without them and could not operate, and that is our administrative officer, Charlotte. She knows every detail and follows up on everything and is terrific in all things. And the other person is Natalie of our oral history program, and she is on top of everything. Her program on the 50 years is just absolutely a superb piece of oral history at Stanford, and so I just think both of those people deserve high praise.